Okay, I just had an amazing breakfast, sitting outside, enjoying the day, just passively watching final account action. So let's get into the brand new, just launched iGRID Evo Strat. This is our second strategy for the NT8 platform. The exact same logic in this strategy that I'll explain here with a quick overview. This will be the primary heavy lifter system that I'll be utilizing in the upcoming live trading event that we've announced for May 19th and 20th. Make sure you contact us in regards to that for access. We got all kinds of big stuff getting deployed and in work. So this is now done. Took about two and a half weeks too long, but we put a lot of work into the clustered or group trail stop mechanism, so it's super reliable. And again, I'm outside, so you probably hear planes and wind and all that, but I want to go through a quick overview. So let's get set up and let's take a quick look at the logic and functionality and the different settings available in this very advanced automated system, because it's powered by the iGRID Evo indicator, which uses unique math and two-dimensional smoothing. Okay, so playback is turned on. Historical continue. Let's get ready. We'll wait for this to initialize the playback feature. Okay, that's getting close to getting initialized. Just waiting on it to highlight itself. As soon as I do that, I'm going to open a new chart of the MNQ instrument for the June contract. And it opened up, and then I readjusted the date group just to minimize the amount of time for date group. And okay, we'll initialize that and pause it. So we're on historical. We got the date group. I'm going to go into NinjaTrader. I'm going to open a new chart. I'll just do a 1-minute chart of the NASDAQ. So we'll go in, we'll take MNQ on the 6-month contract. And let's go with minute-based chart. And we'll go 1 minute, 15 days back. I absolutely always go default 24/7. And we'll call that good for the chart. We'll hit OK. That will populate us a chart. So we'll put the chart up here. We'll expand it over a bit. And I'm going to run this for a moment as I expand the right side margin. I want to make sure I see price ticking over here. 35, that should be good to go. My drawing tool is right in the way. Okay, button. There we go. So we've expanded the chart. Everything's functioning there. Now I'm going to right-click on the chart, go to Strategies. Okay, the iGRID Evo Strat. That's the second of our strategies. This one we added a lot of additional capabilities. I'll have my time window checked. I'm going to only take trades at 7 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, U.S. Central Time or Globex time. On flip entries where we have shifts of momentum, I want to put on 2 MNQs, add quantity of 1. I can do up to 5 adds, because what we do is we do directional grid trading. So we don't do martingale. We do the opposite of that. We only add positions into sustained trends or periods of momentum, depending on the instrument and time frame we're on. So we're only willing to add to a position that continues, for the most part, to run in our intended direction, exactly the way institutionals trade. Okay, so stop distance from the shift portion of the indicator, which I'll describe in detail. I want that about 25 points away, so 25 times 4 is 100 ticks, 4 ticks per point on the MNQ. This setting right here has to do with how frequently do I want the cluster trail stop to follow the indicator. In this case, I'll see every 3 bars of the Heikin-Ashi number 1. that it will keep updating the stop. I could go 1, I could go 10, I could speed it up to be every bar, I could slow it down. That's just for some of those that are on super low time frames, hyper scalping. Do they really need to update their stop positioning every single bar? If you're on some super low Renko time frame, no, you don't. So it gives some availability there. Okay, ultimate, let's say the market just rips and were to take off and run like 200 points in my intended direction. So that would be 800 ticks at 4 ticks per point. So I'm going to put 800 in there. So if the market, I get in a trade, either an uptrend cycle or a downtrend, and it just rips in my intended direction, it'll blip out the whole trade and grab 800 ticks of profit. Now we do have the ability to set a max daily profit or loss. So in this case, on a 150K account, let's say I'm going to go for, I want at least 750 bucks a day on a 150K account across many accounts if I'm using a trade copier. So I'll put 760, meaning once the trade gets blipped out with a market order, I should at least still have about 170 or 750 bucks or 752 or whatever. So I'm going to put that at 760. I'll set this down about 900 just for now for this example. Now the Heikin-Ashi one here that I'm setting controls the plot of our shift portion of our indicator, which is our trend bias. That gives us our two-dimensional smoothing, and I talk about that frequently in videos. If you scroll back, I talk about the iGRID Evo indicator. Now I don't want to see this Heikin-Ashi, so I'm actually going to color this transparent. The only Heikin-Ashi smooth that I want to see is the one that controls where my ads are. On this indicator, or this portion of the indicator, I'm going to adjust one of the settings to have it stand back from price a bit. And then on the Heikin-Ashi 2, smooth Heikin-Ashi 2, I'm going to set that to a 12. This is the one that controls whether I make it more responsive to price, will give me a lot of ad potential, or less responsive to price, will give me less potential for ads per uptrend cycle or downtrend cycle. I'm going to adjust it. I'm going to leave the alerts on for the flips, for the momentum flips, and for the ad points. I'll leave the dots on so I can see where the ads will be for my set settings. I only want to trade Monday through Friday. I don't want to trade on Sunday or Saturday. I'm not trading crypto. Or the overnight or the pre-market or whatever you want to call it session when the market's open Sunday into Monday for this U.S. Central Time. And for the most part, everything else, I'll leave it. I'll set this to day only. We have an exit, around the exit end of session feature and so on. So I'll hit OK. So I see the strat. It's currently disabled. Matter of fact, let me go in there real quick and just show you, cover one thing real quick. We want to make sure we enable the enable button. It's important, so if you're making a point of it, hit OK. Okay, it's still disabled. Well, that's because it takes 20 bars to populate to then get the strategy in a operational mode. So we'll do that. We'll start getting some bars to populate, and soon you'll see the indicator of the iGRID Evo pop up on the chart as we're populating bars. And it's now enabled. It's running. We have an ability to turn the strategy on or off with this button. We can work any trades, both long and short, or we can operate in a long-only mode or a short-only mode. Some people wanted that, so we put it in. Any means it's going to keep taking trades in any direction, long or short. So we're currently in the Sunday night period, going into the Monday early morning. In the middle of the night for Chicago time, U.S. Central Time. I have it set, remember in my settings, that I can't take any trades till 7 a.m. on a Monday morning. So we're going to stand by for that. Okay, so we're past 7 a.m. U.S. Central Time. Any trade that kicks off would be initiated. And then we can flip to the long side and put on 2 contracts per our settings. So we're in the primary flip trades that only take place when we have shifts in momentum. Now this is running on a 1-minute chart. I'm not using what I would call optimized settings. I'm just using, I threw it up there adjusted two little things, and we'll run with it. And the main thing I want you to see what happens if you get in a period where the market's flipping back and forth, and then what happens when you get in a period where the market has a typical high momentum move, and what can happen with your P&L. So the idea of the iGRID system and automated strategy as you get into optimized settings is to hold your own in the chop where the market can't make up its mind what it wants to do. And a lot of that can be controlled by the time frame you use. But then when we get any sort of linear movement of price or any sort of typical run of in those scenarios, we get paid because we're adding to a position that's running in our intended direction and loading up on those trades. So we get paid more on the moves that have some sort of, follow through. And on the moves that are sitting in the chop, we're never that loaded up, or maybe only in our primary trade. But if we get in a few oscillations, we might be over and above our primary trade. A good example. So I get lots of questions. What happens if I get long and then suddenly the market goes short? Well, flip of momentum, it will close out any primary and adds. Yeah, it'll put us a little negative from a P&L standpoint, but it will at least close out trades in that direction and then initiate trades in new direction. So now we're primaries and we just put on one add, so we're in 3 MNQs to the short side. And we're getting, we're basically slightly below break even on the day. Now remember the daily profit objective of $760. So the moment that daily profit objective is hit, it would just shut down trading for that day. Now you don't have to do that, but I just want to show you the features and capabilities of the system. So it's not too hard then to figure out what is your objective on your account size. What do you want to do whether you're trading prop or your own account? Maybe you want some prop account for, like on 150K account, a $750 daily limit, and maybe on 300K accounts you're going for $1,250 or whatever it is you want to do. You're in a trade and you're so deep in the money that you might not be at some preset objective, but you just want to be done on the day. Well, just go hitting the flatten button and turn off your strat, and you're done. You don't have to let it. So right now we flipped to the short side. We had one add, 2 adds. In the settings, I said, hey, take up the adds. We could set position size per flip entry and per add separate. On the flips, you could put 0 size and just work the adds. And we have some people doing that. And I get it on some time frames and some instruments. That's not, not a bad way to go. We suddenly flip back in the other direction. What happens? Do all my trades get flattened? Am I now playing in the new direction? We're not okay. So now we're slightly working trades, but now we're working alongside trade. And we'll see if we get a move that gets us over our daily amount profit objective. So here we are. We're about $500 and some in the money. We're in a long trade. We had to flip to the long side. We had add. So this is a day that, a little bit of oscillation pre-market, but once we got into the main market period and into the afternoon session, we started to get a directional movement and one that could take us to a daily profit objective. So we're very near that. And when we hit that 760, out trades, and in this case left us with 760. So there's many ways, many features, a lot of capability. You can use it on Renkos, Heikinashi, volume candles, tick charts, and on and on. As part of the automated system, we have 2 systems for NT8. This is the exact same logic we'll have in cTrader MT5, MT4 versions. So if you have any questions, just contact me at info@gridalgo.com. So hold your own in the chop and make your score on your first good solid linear price run.